Hey, what's going on everybody here? Pat Garcia with another video blog for this week. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about a concept called Singularity of Purpose. Or it might be Purpose of Singularity. But anyways, it comes from probably the most famous samurai in Japanese history. His name was Miyamoto Musashi, and he wrote a book called The Book of Five Rings. Now, I'm learning this Filipino martial art called Basekan, which is a fusion of 4 different kinds of martial arts. 2 of them are like karate and arnis, and a little bit of taekwondo. Not really sure on that, but yeah, I know, right? So I learned this concept from my Sir-san, Carlos, who introduced this concept called Singularity of Purpose. Now what he did was he asked one of our Noisans, which is sort of like the proteges, and Noisan is like the word that we call, like, you know how there's different levels of Jedis, like we have like Padawans and Jedi Knight and Jedi Master. Well, a student is a Noisan. So anyway, Sir San Carlos told Noisan Jared to get past me and touch the white wall behind me. Well, I'm in a park, but you know, just use your imagination. So he was like, okay, try to touch the white wall behind me. So Jared came in, he's all bobbing and weaving, and you know, they look like it was like a wide receiver trying to get through like some kind of linebacker or something. But it was hilarious. So, you know, typically, yeah, I guess you could say that's Singularity of Purpose, but what Singularity of Purpose acted out efficiently is like, okay, there's the white wall, whole bunch of people in front of me, and I'm just gonna like get to where I want to go. So gotta get back on the line. So why do I bring this up, this concept of Singularity of Purpose? Well, this is actually a method and a type of mindset that a lot of Japanese businessmen use in their economy. And I kind of adapted it to my own way of life because I'm starting to dial back on certain things in my life because, like I said in my previous blog, I'm tired of going 50% on 8 or 9 things in my life where I can be going full force and 100% on 4 or 5 things. So a lot of that I like to use Singularity of Purpose. Singularity of Purpose is basically this sort of laser focus, this sort of drive that you have towards a specific goal that you want to accomplish. Then it doesn't matter what's in your way, you're just gonna keep going. Boom, getting punched in the head, getting like hit in the stomach, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm not bobbing, I'm not weaving, I'm just gonna go with laser focus. And a part of that has to do a lot with your drive and your focus. So like I said before, you know, a lot of the times when you ask an artist what they want to be in life, and I like to talk to a lot of artists because I consider myself an artist, and you know, let's say for example they want to be like a filmmaker or a writer or a director. Most of the time I would probably say 7 out of 10 times when they say those things, they actually are talking about being rich and famous. And I think I mentioned that in a previous blog, but when you ask somebody who wants to work in the entertainment industry, they're not so much concerned. They are concerned with the craft, but you know, they're more concerned about the accolades that comes with becoming an artist. Like, a lot of them put themselves in a mindset of reward first before trying to figure out how to get from point A to B. Now, a lot of the times when you see somebody who's really successful, I learned this quote from my friend Mike, I guess he read it in a book, but generally when you meet somebody who's successful at whatever they do, whether they're an entrepreneur or an actor or whatever, a lot of the times, you know, they like to talk about what it's like, or, you know, people pose questions to those who are successful, like, you know, how do you feel, or what it's like, or what is it to have everything that you have. But nobody ever asks, like, how did you get through all the bullshit, you know? I remember I went to this Mix concert once, and T-Pain was the headliner. And he was like, if you want to get to where I am, you got to go through a lot of bullshit. I mean, I went through a lot of bullshit to get to where I am. And a lot of people don't ask that, you know? It's like this picture of an iceberg. And the tip of the iceberg is right here, and then like the rest of the iceberg is submerged in water. Now when you look at the stuff that's like submerged in water, that's all the bullshit that successful people had to go through, you know, getting their elbows in the mud, getting through in the trenches. And that little piece of the top of the iceberg is what people see. This is all like the fame and success and the cars and the women and the money. That's what people are interested in because that's what they see. Now, getting back to singularity of purpose, when you're aligning yourself to a specific path in life, when you're aligning yourself to a specific goal, you have to not so much like focus on what's gonna come with it, because a lot of that are distractions. Take for example me. A lot of the time when I write a new song or a poem or make a new short film, I'd like to think I'm getting better at it, but back in the day I did it because I wanted people to like me better. So when you do something out of like the state of being validated, like when you're in that validation seeking mentality, yeah, you don't want to go through with it, right? Because what happens if people don't like your work? You know, nobody's gonna give a shit. So, you know, I would probably say do you, and yeah, commit 100% to the goal, commit 100% to the journey, commit 100% to the path. Because a lot of the times when people try to go out and try to accomplish something, they might use another person or another system as a template or as a model. That's fine. But what generally happens there is we kind of end up comparing our journey to that person or to that type of system or lifestyle. And that's not like the healthiest way to go about it. It is good to use their stuff as an example, but not necessarily have to accomplish the same things that they accomplish. Like if you want to play basketball, right? And you look at somebody like LeBron James, who was drafted straight out of high school. So if you want to play college ball or the NBA and you don't get drafted right out of high school, you might think that you're a failure. But that's LeBron James's journey. That was his path. That's not necessarily what your path is going to look like. It's not necessarily what your journey is going to look like. So you kind of have to find that out yourself. Now, all I can say is don't do it. If you're going to go on this journey to success and this path to success, you know, don't be like me who's trying to do things to get validation. So, oh man, I gotta make this rap song so people will like me better, or maybe I can make a short film festival and hold it at my house so I can get people to come over and hang out with me. I used to do that. So, you know, do you, man. If you have something to say, if you have a message, and if you have something that you want to communicate to the world, do it. You know, a friend once told me I was depressed because I didn't have any trade skills. I'm like I felt like being an artist was a curse, right? Like I don't know how to fix a computer, I don't know how to fix a car, you know, I don't know how to work on a house or whatever, I don't know how to do accounting, you know. Those are things that are useful in the world. And I was depressed because I'm like, I'm a creative. Like, I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to do. You know, I feel like this is a curse. And they're like, do you know what a creative is? That's what my friend told me. And I was like, to create stuff, you know? To tell stories of some sort. And that's when he told me that purpose to a creative life is to communicate ideas to the world, right? Take Steve Jobs, for example. You know, stuff that he does with Apple is, you know, it revolutionized the way we think about technology, you know, in computers, in handheld devices. So, you know, an iPod is not just a music player. It can actually serve as a hard drive. So, there's a lot of creativity behind that. So, I'm just going to wrap it up with that. You know, be creative. Communicate ideas to the world. Tell your story. You know, if you don't like something, you know, it's a little cliche to say be the change that you want to see in the world. But critique by creating. Does that make sense? Critique by creating. Alright? So with that said, I'm in a beautiful park in Fairfield on a Sunday afternoon. Sun's starting to go down. So be legendary. Peace.